It's another Wednesday, so you know what that means. We are grading every LEGO Star Wars minifigure ever made. We are up to year 2007, 1 year prior to Clone Wars. So we are right on the cusp of LEGO figures dropping in quality because of those stupid Clone Wars faces. But let's enjoy some of the good stuff before we get to that point. Beginning with Anakin short legs. This is the first one with short legs, right? Because the other one was a yellow skin and it was prior to Yoda, so they didn't have like the actual legs proper. It's a decent figure. It's just not a figure I love. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone's going out the way to say that this Anakin's their favorite version, but they haven't changed it much over the years. So very solid, 7 out of 10. Not much you can complain about with this guy because it's just, he looks bland and it's a bland figure, okay? The Astromech droid from the Republic frigate. Oof, look at that $34, $35 price tag on this. Well, it's a nice pretty green, I'll give it that. But it's still the old style where they just cannot figure out the printing. And look at how even this one's a slight misprint. Look at how the angle is kind of off on the gray. It's a 7 out of 10. It's not much different than the R2 and the R5 that they had. AT-AT driver, bluish gray black head. Okay, so we're finally in the era of like all Stormtroopers having black heads. Pretty solid rendition in this figure. It doesn't have the updated mask you see. I think first comes out in like 2010. So solid, but just not the best. It does give AT-AT driver though, so I will give it that. So I think like an 8 out of 10 is fine on him. Ooh, battle droid. Wow. So they only lasted with the arms being both non-straight for 8 years. Once we got to 2007, they finally turned the arm, and that's the only adjustment we've gotten on regular battle droids ever since. Yep, 8 out of 10. Battle droids are perfectly fine, just nothing special. And hey, they got the arms straightened, so fine on me. I like that. Blue torso. 8 out of 10. Nothing changes. Battle droids are battle droids, and they're good. Now this one. My Grail figure. One day I'll get this one. I don't think I will. But I love this figure. I love the chrome gold. The TC-14 is one of my favorite figures ever. And if the nice silver one's going to be up there on the list, the gold one's got to be just as high. 10 out of 10. Absolutely gorgeous shine on this figure. I love the chrome. Even though the printing isn't too crazy, it's still a great figure. Shock Trooper. Did they have this before? Yeah, the old one had white legs. Or is that like even later on down the list? This one is solid. The helmet design's good. The armor's good. I have no real problems with this trooper. I think an 8 out of 10 is fair on him. Same goes with this guy. I think he does look a little bald with the fact that he doesn't have the little cloak, the little shoulder pauldron. I think that's what it's called. Without that, he does lose a little bit of points. I think I'll just drop this to a 7 out of 10 and we'll call it there. It's still a fine enough figure, just not as peak as the other. We are 8 years into LEGO Star Wars, and you're giving Dak Ralter named characters. Smiley face. Also, those helmet printings, so lazy. Just white helmet, plop, plop. Yeah, this one's a 3 out of 10. This is not a good figure. It's just so, like, nothing. Speaking of so nothing, ew. Ew, that is such a bad design for this guy. Oh god, that's one of the worst ones LEGO's done. Yeah, people complain like, oh, they have to be minifigure size. They have to fit into a ball. How does this fit into a ball? Can you explain that to me? 50? What? What? Oh, get this out of here. It's a 1 out of 10. This is terrible. Speaking of downgrades, dude, giving Grievous without his cape is just such a bummer. That cape made that old figure. And this just looks... It looks naked. There's no other way to put it. It just looks like weird. It's still a decent enough Grievous. I like the fact that it's like one of the only droids that has like a proper head attachment. But still, like, not putting the cape on him drags him down. It's a 6 out of 10. General Veers is pretty solid. I like the face print. They did pretty decent on that. The goggles, the chin strap, and it just matches the helmet. The Imperial shirt right here, I think is a reuse. I think this is the exact same one on the ones before, and it kind of has that sort of hand-drawn look to it. I don't know what about these, like, just look a little odd, but then the one on the Death Star looks great, so, or, no, it's not the Death Star, it's the Tarkin on the Star Destroyer. He just looks better when it comes to the printing, so I think I'll give give Veers like a solid 7. 6. 6 out of 10. He's decent, but he has some flaws still. Classic Han, I don't think this is much different than the one before. I think I gave this 7 in the previous episodes. Because, yeah, it is Han Solo. It does look like our boy. So, yeah, we'll keep it with that. That's 2. 2 smiley faces in 2007. Let's see how many we keep getting. These smiley faces piss me off, but it is a good Snowtrooper. Everything about this is a fine enough Snowtrooper. That face is just dumb. 5 out of 10. I will never defend a smiley face figure. The ATST pilot and driver. So same helmet, same goggles. I guess that works. And then the gray jumpsuit. I think I like this a little less. I think I like the gray. I don't know. Actually, it's pretty solid for the ATST driver. I'm trying to think of how he looked in episode 6 when like Chewbacca ripped him out the thing, and I think that's pretty solid. I think I'll give him same level as Veers, 7 out of 10. I think it's fair, even though that's basically just Veers again with the same exact face print. Imperial probe droid. That is not bad. That's not bad. They've released like new pieces to make it better, but for what pieces they had, yeah, it's a little bulky at the top, but it's okay. It's okay. I give this like a 6 out of 10. That's fine enough. Imperial Shadow Trooper. Really like this one. The blue on the helmet, the little accents, the gray, the black. It just looks so nice. Like, it's a very solid figure. I think I'll give this an 8 out of 10. Like, no, this is a 9. This is a 9. Very, very solid. One of the best figures of the year, probably, once we get to the end of it all. It's a good, solid black trooper, and it just looks clean. And as I said, 9 out of 10. Finally, he has a black head, but these are the troopers I grew up with. It came in only one set, so the Battle Pack had a specific version. I honestly cannot tell the difference between most of these regular Stormtroopers from this era. It's fine. It's a great, like, this is Stormtroopers when you think of Lego Star Wars. So, 9 out of 10. I'm not going to question that one too much. Not going to dig into every single version of Stormtrooper when they come around. K-3PO. I like the little 2 red dots right there. Like, just adding that little extra bit is like something they didn't need to do. They could have just easily said, oh, same exact print, and just plop it on. But it does look good. It is a solid looking figure. I have this one. Kind of like the red one more a little bit, but this white one's pretty solid. I think gave the other one like a 7 out of 10. I think 8 out of 10. It's a fun figure, and I don't think we've gotten the white 3PO since. Kit Fisto, big man, hasn't really aged too greatly since. He's alright. Like, that head mold is fine. This one doesn't have the cape. I wonder if they'll have the version with the cape as a different, like, character, but he says he's in 3 sets, and I only know him to be in 3 sets. So this could just be him, and they just didn't count him as the one with the cape. But it's fine. It's just one of those things that as Lego's gone on, they've upgraded the head molds on so many of these people, and Fisto's just the one that's been left behind. This rubber mold, like, the printing wears off so easily. It's decent, but it isn't the best aged. I'll still give him a 7 out of 10. It's very fine. Luke Skywalker. Printing on the legs. Beautiful. Basic face. This is still Luke. This is classic Luke. And, like, this is, like, the best they'll do for, like, printing on his outfit. Like, they haven't really changed a whole lot since... What's the best? Like, the one that's in the newest Death Star, I guess, is the best version of this figure. But for, 2007, this is very solid. It's an 8 out of 10. I always appreciate the leg printing when you do them on these figures. Naboo Fighter Pilot. They did decent, but I do have to say, I've always appreciated this torso, because it's just, like, one of the most military-looking torsos Lego's ever made. So a lot of people that I know ended up using this for their army mocks, because it's just a very good, like, torso base. Like, this is like your regular fighter pilot. That face. 3 smiley faces. We're still in the smiley face era of Lego Star Wars. Fine enough. This is probably my favorite of the smiley face ones. I think I'll give this a 7 out of 10. Just because, like, that's a really good, like, pilot outfit. Oh, he has the headset. So this is the headset version, while the one in the other version didn't have the headset. Shout out to that. I still don't think this is a great representation of Obi-Wan. It's alright, but, like, it's just very bland. You can't deny it. It's a 6 out of 10. But I do have to give it credit for actually having, like, the headset version, even though, like, he could have had his cape in this, you know? Include the cloaks. This is him in the hyper ring going to Kamino. Man was wearing his cloak and cape that whole time. Come on. Old Ben, solid dude. Nothing too crazy. I think that face works pretty good for Obi-Wan. I think that's better than the ones we've had prior. $27. Some of these old figures are getting crazy. I give it a 6 out of 10. Not a tremendous figure. It's not as good as the ones we get in like the 2020s. The one with the new like hood piece is perfect for him. God, just changing the skin tone from the yellow to the flesh tone does not help this figure a whole lot. It's just so bland. Like, is that the same exact face as they had for Luke? Because that doesn't really look like young Obi-Wan. I think this figure would help when what they do in future sets where they add the Padawan ponytail. Just the one simple thing really does bring out the fact that that's Obi-Wan Kenobi. This one doesn't look like Obi-Wan. This is a 2 out of 10. Super basic. Yes, it has the cape, but oh, bro, believe me, if this didn't have the cape, it would be a 1. This is a bad figure. Leia, the princess, very solid. Very solid. All you could ask for at this point is like the dress. You know, just add the dress piece. Classic version of this figure. 8 out of 10. No questions asked. Oh, so they did do a Kamino version. You know what? Would I give the other one a 6 or a 5 or something? I think I'll give the pause in the video in the middle of the recording. Because I'm looking at my editing, and as you can see, whatever I'm about to say is wrong. Because this is from the Republic Cruiser, and that Obi-Wan head figure, it's supposed to be Qui-Gon Jinn. That is terrible. I've never seen like an overstep that's just wrong. I don't know how no one's ever mentioned this to me. Either this is Brickset completely folding and just being wrong and using the image. Everything I say here just completely null and void, because that is Qui-Gon Jinn, and that is not Qui-Gon Jinn in the figure. 0 out of 10. Terrible. I'm getting so tired of these smiley faces. And it's another named character, ain't it? No, it's Dutch Vander, man. Gold Leader. The helmet print is better, but it's still so lame. Still so lame. This is like a 3 out of 10. Like, what are we doing? You really just had to throw smiley faces in every single like figure. Like Star Wars, Lego Star Wars was doing good commercially. Why are we still on smiley faces? You can't see me because, yeah. I guess that works because that blue outfit does look like the Naboo, like the Republic Cruiser captain that we had. But like, come on, man. That is just so lame to give him just basic smiley face. Come on. It's solid. It's okay. I'll give him, just for the uniqueness in the blue, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. And his pilot, his co-pilot, the hat is just so dumb. Yeah, dude, I wouldn't be able to tell that this is a Star Wars character. And that's number 6 for smiley faces. That's 2 years in a row where they've spammed smiley faces. It isn't just like a one-off thing. I thought it was. At least now, when we get to Clone Wars, it'll be ugly clone faces and show just smiley faces, 2 dots in a line. Yeah, this one's like a 2 out of 10. This is like a 1 out of 10. There's nothing about this that says, like, you never guessed this was Star Wars and just like a random pile. Now look at that. Look at that 9 out of 10. Beautiful Stormtrooper figure. Beautiful cloth piece. Love to see it. Another great one. No dirt stains. So is there one with dirt stains? I don't know. We'll see in the future, but very solid Stormtrooper. Nothing to talk about here. But that name, Sand Trooper, Orange Prowler, solid. No survival backpack. No dirt stains. Helmet with solid mouth pattern and solid black head. I'm not Googling that. Once again, red battle droid. Nothing too special. Always 8 out of 10. Love our battle droids. Just gotta mention them when we see them. I don't see what's different. Oh, he has white hands now. Yeah, this is a 9 out of 10. This is like the goated Snowtrooper. One of the best you're ever gonna get. Very, very solid figure. Love it. Remember having these as a kid. These were in that battle pack, right? Yeah. Love this one. Because at that time, they were giving a lot of love to Hoth. So finally getting like an actual like Snowtrooper pack instead of just like a bunch of the Rebels. It was very nice. And then the Super Battle Droid. Wow. So the Super Battle Droid came out in 12 sets. 12 sets. I'm sorry. We got to scroll. 12 sets the Super Battle Droid came out. Okay, so we knew this. I knew this. Didn't know he came in this. I have this set. Didn't know he came in that. I knew Swamp Speeder, so he came in an advent calendar. And they really did stay around. But then there was that gap. So the last one that it came out in was in the year 2015. So until last year, there really was a 9-year gap in Super Battle Droids. I wonder why that was. I just didn't know he came in so many sets. I always thought he halted after the Swamp Speeder. I always thought he was much more rare than he was. So if you bought every set that was on shelves during that time, you'd have 18 Super Battle Droids. That feels like a lot. You know what I mean? If you had every single Lego Star Wars set, you can get 18 Super Battle Droids during this era. I thought it was much rarer than that. The price went kind of soaring on the Super Battle Droids because they just didn't exist for a long time. But hey, it's a great figure. The only thing that's missing is that die. And they did that in the new version. So 9 out of 10, yeah, I already know what the new one's going to be because that is a perfect droid. Perfect droid figure right there. But yeah, we kind of zoomed through this year because a lot of it was sort of rehashes of a couple figures. Like, we've gone through this guy before, we've gone through this guy before, we've gone through this guy before. Starting to realize that a lot of the figures in these sets, in these videos, are just slight variations of them. But next week in 2008, we're going up even more. 39 figures, and we're finally into the Clone Wars. Like, subscribe, click the playlist if you haven't seen the rest of the parts of this series, and I'm out. Peace.